Censored. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is the beautiful and talented Dianna Chycki, and I just want to say thank you for accepting my request.
Well, thank you, Keith. It's a pleasure to be on your show. I'm delighted that you're part of Stage 32, and it's always nice to get to know members of Stage 32 and connecting with people around the world.
Now, starting off for people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even if we weren't in disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any type of disability, that you should never label yourself or have people label you, and you should prove to them that you can still amount to something. Now, with that being said, it's a half-hour, 45-minute conversation. You can curse if you want to. This is your time. It's completely whatever you want to do. And you can ask me anything you want, say whatever you want. And starting off, what can you tell me about yourself?
Well, my name is Dianna Chycki, and I'm from Wasaga Beach, Ontario, Canada. It's the longest freshwater beach in the world with the most beautiful sunsets. And I host a weekly online radio show called Beach Corner on beachboosterradio.com. It's a very local type of show, but I also do interviews worldwide because this is what we do with our social media. We connect worldwide. And I've been on the show for over 2 years, and I've interviewed people from Japan, Sweden, Los Angeles. I've even interviewed Richard Botto, the CEO of Stage 32. I've interviewed many Japanese rock celebrities, and as well as producers from Los Angeles. And I'm just enjoying it. I love doing this. My background is radio and television, and I've worked behind the scene. So being in front of the mic is something a little different, but I'm really enjoying it. I love asking questions. I love getting to know the artists and people in the entertainment. So my show basically covers entertainment, festivals, concerts, and basically events that are running around. So I do a lot of red carpet interviews as well too, because I also co-chair the Wasaga Beach Film Festival, which we'll get into a little later. But if we come back to Beach Corner, what I've done is it's also I have a column that is published twice a month in Beach Booster publication. And basically, these articles are based on my interviews that I conduct online. And my show is on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 and 7 o'clock Eastern Time, obviously, because it's Wasaga Beach, Ontario in Canada. So what do you think of that, Keith?
No, it's really good. Sorry, I was looking at my sound thing. Yeah, because, no disrespect, I appreciate you taking the time, so I'm not like, a jackass or anything. It's just...
No, that's okay. And I also co-chair the Wasaga Beach Film Festival. We did our 4th annual film festival back January 24th of this year. And we have international entries. So we got entries from Israel, United Kingdom, Egypt, and Israel, all of those places, including, Japan, Australia. And it's a short film, so they go from 2.5 minutes up to 10 minutes. Our documentaries go up to 30 minutes. So what I do is I produce the whole show, from the floor plan to inviting the presenters, performers, everything. And so this year was the 4th year. And I think it was one of the most successful ones because I've been basically molding this film festival, this local little film festival, and we're trying to base it a little bit on Sundance Film Festival a little bit, where we would like to encourage seminars, maybe get some courses out there for filmmakers who want to get into the business. And hopefully I may have the opportunity of inviting Richard Botto to come up. I mean, I did say something about would anyone be interested in coming up, and they said if we would have a guest speaker type of panel, they might consider it. I have asked some Stage 32 members in the past to come as presenters, which worked really well. It was nice to get to meet them in person and get them involved and present an award. And this year I had some producers from the Toronto. Some of them were with the Toronto film industry for school. Others are basically local producers in town that basically came up. We're not to the point where we can, how should I say, have money to fly.
Right.
Let's say, well-known producers or celebrities or pay them. This is a non-profit organization, and it's really to put Wasaga Beach on the map because the location is spectacular. We're like 15 minutes away from Blue Mountain, which has, you know, all these beautiful mountains to ski on, and obviously Wasaga Beach has the beach. So as far as for a filmmaker, this would be a great opportunity for anyone who is looking for a particular scenery with beach to come up here and film. It has a bit of a 50s type of look still, like our beach area 1 and 2. But it's really a small little town of 18,000 people. We are growing, and we do have like the big box stores here and there. But it's really a great location because you're away from the city, which is only basically, I would say, an hour and a bit from Toronto. So it's north of Toronto, which is still easy to come up to. And, you know, it's a nice little area, very quaint. People are wonderful. It's a small little community. And I'm involved a lot in the community. I do a lot of events. I'll do some emceeing. I was master of ceremony for the opening of their Snowman Mania. A few other little things that they do in town, I'll do that. Or I participate in a bridal fashion show where I'll model some of the dresses, you know, just stuff like that. So I get involved. It's a lot of fun. You know, we're Canada. They always say we're always so polite. And so, you know, I encourage anyone who's interested, you can take a look at our website. It's wasagafilmfestival.com. I guess when we connected, I did mention that. Also our Facebook page for the latest update, because we seem to update a little faster on Facebook than our website. There's no entry fees, and basically, you know, it's an opportunity for anyone who has a film smartphone. It could be a Go camera, anything that you want to tell a story. We invite anyone to do that. We've got all these different categories. So we're going to start submissions again as of May 1st till November 27, 2015. That's when we're going to start accepting some films, and we're gearing up for 5th year. So the 5th year, we're trying to really make it a powwow. So I'm hoping it's going to be even better than this year, because this year we had a set design by one of our local guy, Gary Sawatsky, who did a wonderful work. And this you have to think, it's all like, there's very little money, and everybody contributes their time. So we had someone who did our set, you know, like for no money, and basically it's just like, thank you, and you know, give them their logo on our sponsor banner.
Hey, now you can take a breath. Yeah, I was waiting for you to take a breath so I can do that.
I could go on if I don't stop. But yeah, so that's what it is. So any filmmakers out there that are interested in participating would be great. Anyone who would like to be interviewed again, they can come on my show. So Keith, tell me a little bit about yourself now.
All right. Well, you should take a drink of water. Your face is turning red.
Take a break. You tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, starting off, you know, like I said, I'm a up-and-coming filmmaker. Also, filmmaker / talk show host. And I just wanted to make a statement, because most of my life, for the past 27 years, people were saying, oh, I was never going to amount to anything, you know, I'm going to be a burden for someone, for people, you know, that may be true, but this is my chance. I've proven myself. And so I've been doing this for a year and a half. This June, actually, it's going to be 2 years officially. When I first started, don't ask me why, it was a stupid idea on my part. When I first started, I only did audio. Okay, yeah, that was supposed to be a boo, but I hit the wrong button. But still getting the hang of it. But basically, you know, I started off doing audio, and I did 72, and you know, I interviewed people from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like from, I don't know, maybe you know them or came across them, Kurgan Mayhem, Barbara Goodson, Robert Axel, the woman who did Mrs. Appleby from the show. I interviewed Sarah Valentine. I interviewed Mark Melanie.
How do you get in touch with these people? Sorry to interrupt. How do you recruit them?
Well, going back to that, it was mostly LinkedIn. Now I'm starting to use Stage 32, because I've been using LinkedIn for the past couple of years. It's like, okay, well, I want to use something else. And I was looking for another professional site like LinkedIn, so I guess Stage 32 works out. And by the way, you can go to linkedin.com or stage32.com, sign up, it's free. Doing a little plug for them.
Okay.
And
everyone's been very responsive. They've accepted your interviews, because sometimes I find that I'll send out requests for interviews. I don't get answers. They don't reply. No matter how many emails I'll say I'm requesting, I didn't get an answer, then it go to your spam. They just don't reply. Or I get an answer back. They'll say, okay, yes, we'll do it, but it never comes together. Do you get that as well?
Well, before we were jumping around, but absolutely, like I said, I did, to give you a perfect example, when I first started, like I was saying, did a lot of audio. Make a long story short, I had to do it over because people ask me, what is your sponsor? Why don't you have any sponsors? You're doing this great thing. Why don't you have this? Why don't you have that? Yada, yada, yada. And so I did it over. Half the people I interviewed the first time, like Kurgan Mayhem, who's a good friend of mine, Ron Reisman, they said absolutely no problem. There was other people who were just up and coming. And I said, would you like to do it again? No, once was enough. Or, you should have told us, it was a demo you were doing. Or, you just sort of excuses. But, have I introduced myself to people recently? And recently it has happened, I came across people like, I think you're doing a wonderful thing. But I really want nothing to deal with it. But I support you, though. And it's kind of like, okay, you're talking from both sides of your mouth. Which one is it? You support what I'm doing, but you really want nothing to deal with it? So it's kind of...
And another thing, too, I find, is they want to know how popular your show is.
Yes.
What I find is when you invite someone for an interview, I think it's nice to say, yes, do the interview. They're asking you. You should be happy that you're being asked. But I find a lot of big celebrities, if you don't meet the quota, that you're not up there, you're just like, no, they're not that interested. And to me, I just find that's not fair. Like yourself, you invited me to do this interview. I graciously accepted. I think anyone who invites me to do an interview, as a courtesy, you should just say yes, because, the other person is trying to do something. We're all trying to help each other. And I don't know, I just don't like the idea. It's just always about numbers. No matter who's watching, whatever audience. I mean, like, I'm online, so online goes worldwide. You're tapping into all these different countries. So, I don't know, I sometimes get frustrated with that. I find that's not fair. If you get invited, you should at least say yes. And I just don't like because I've been tapped into some very big celebrities. And I could see the star themselves, they want to be interviewed. But the management surrounding them are like, not really. Do you know what I mean? It's like, take a number and you get sort of put sideways, which I think is not... It's almost like saying if you're a fan and you don't pay attention to your fan, but then they're the ones that are supporting them. So we're just trying to support everybody. And I don't know. That's my take on it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I give you a perfect example. I called Amy DeMont's manager. It's like, yeah, she's booked for 7 months. Come back in October. And, okay. Well, in October, will we set something up? Yeah, you have about 15-20% chance, but we'll see what happens. Okay, why am I calling back if I have a 20% chance? I didn't hear this from the person, but it's the woman who worked with her. Apparently, someone who worked with Mickey James said, how they wanted to know what your following is. I got 2 questions. That's one got directed at you in a minute. And they're like, what is your following? Or how many followers do you have? And I always joke about this. It's like, I'm not a freaking cult leader. That doesn't matter to me. And it's like, but seriously, they said, I have 140 people. Okay, how many people on Facebook? How many likes do you have? Like 140 followers. I have 63 likes. That's not good enough. We come back when you have a couple thousand. And I was like, you understand the fact that this is a good cause, And two, I have a learning disability. So how am I going to get a couple thousand just to please you? And it says, if you don't have a couple thousand, 2,000, 3,000, you want nothing to do with you. And it's like you're missing the point.
Yeah, it's amazing, eh? It's too bad that not everyone sees it that way. They put you down to a number, and you're so right, with Facebook and Twitter. And unfortunately, Facebook, I choose who follows me. And there's a lot of people that come on that request to be a friend, and I just don't put them on. I really, really choose. A lot of people just say yes to anyone just because they want that number, but I don't. And the same thing with Twitter. I mean, it's very sad when we have to look at how many people are liking your page or how many people are following you, and you base it on that. And I don't know, I don't feel it. I don't think it's a fair gauge. Do you know what I mean? Someone could have 20 followers, and who knows, they're probably a really nice person. Do you know what I mean? You're missing out. And it's unfortunate that, I don't know, out there when you're doing some interviews, it's nothing but just numbers. It's just statistic. You're just a number. And I think we're a little bit more than just a number. We're like human beings, and we should, open up to everyone, just like they perform to a whole bunch of people, either on stage or on films, and they rely on people to buy those films. So they should acknowledge, it's your job. Do as many interviews as you can. That's how I see it.
That's true.
If you can't take it, then just leave the business. You know what I mean? You should be expected that, yes, your work will, be very engaging. You're going to be really busy doing all this stuff, but it's all part of being who you are. And if you show that you're a genuine, nice person, you'll have that much more fans and more followers that will, come forward to you. And you just need one person to say, hey, I got this big star. And it's like, oh my gosh, it was an Oscar winner, and I interviewed him, and he was so nice. You just need one person to start talking, and it just goes from there. I don't know. That's how I see it. How do you see it?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's all about doing the right thing, and people like drama, so so like that, and it's kind of like I basically. You're right about what you said. You're just a number. You're a number, I'm a number. But if you're doing a good deed, that's all that matters. I came across this one wrestler, and why I don't really use Facebook, because, I guess I don't really think that much. So I'm a little artistic, as in I live in my own world, but I am realistic at the same time. Like this, I really want this talk show to really work out. I like to have your friendship, I really like that to work out. But realistically, there's a 50-50 chance of that working out. Like, I'd say, yeah, you're doing this for me, so you're a wonderful person. Thank you for that. But with the talk show, for an example, 50-50 chance of that taking off, and people look at the numbers. And it's just, sometimes it's good to be a little artistic because you live in your world, and it's your place to escape all the bullshit and all the drama. But it's good to have your foot in reality, because there has to be a balance. You can't be like, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di, but you also have to have, it's hard to explain, but you just need to have a sense of everything that, yes, this is great, but you want this, but at the same time, is it actually realistic enough? If that makes any sense.
No, absolutely. I mean, we never know what's going to take off, right? I mean, we start with something, and it might grow, or like you said, it may not. There's always that 50-50, but that's anything. That's all part of being an entrepreneur. You have to start somewhere. So you have an idea, and you develop it, and then you just go with it. And that's how I did. My show's been over 2 years. And I still remember when I first started, I had no idea what I was going to do and how I was going to recruit all these people. And basically what I do is I just look what event is going around town. I pick them up, and if it's not that, then I seek even around whatever art. It could be from Mexico, wherever, and then I usually go and try and recruit them, contact them, saying, hey, you're coming to our town. Or if I see maybe an artist that's doing really well, that's starting out, I might interview them as well. I know there's a young band in Sweden that's doing really well. I've been after them to interview them. I finally did. Once I got the interview, I encouraged them to submit their music video, which I thought was fabulous. Well, they did, and they entered our international category. Well, they won the Platinum Award. Now, you got to think this. This is a young band from Sweden that submitted their music video. They had to go through voting online, which counted for 30%, public view and vote, which counted for 40%, and then we had a panel of judges for 30%. And now we tabulate to 100, and they won. So this was amazing, especially for a public view and vote who has never seen this band. They're watching it, and they beat out everybody in that category. I mean, they were blown away when they found out that they won. And this is an indie band, not even signed to a record company. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't know. I just like to reach out to as many people as I can. I know my show is very local, but I like to reach out to people from outside because of the social media. Like I said, we got this bridge that ties the whole world together. In fairness, it's always nice to let people know about Wasaga Beach and what we are about, as well as, let's say, New York, and learn what you guys are up to. What are you doing there? Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And speaking of that, how is New York going for you with this show?
It really hasn't taken off. I tried reaching out to a bunch of media people, and I tried reaching out to Fox News and CNN, and even that's well out of my league, being Fox News and CNN. But I tried WHED, I tried WEXR. Just any talk show, and all I get is.
But however, Keith, do you network?
Yes, absolutely.
You do a lot of networking, like the BNIs and all that stuff. The reason why I'm saying that, because I did a lot of networking. I also co-host the Santa Claus Parade. I dress up as a princess for our Santa Castle. I do a lot of appearance on Rogers Television. It's one of our cable TV here. So it's either with the film festival or with my radio show. This past week, I was on Art Happens TV, which is going to be a new show starting as of April. It's a YouTube channel. So I was interviewed there about production work on the film festival. And I just find if you network a lot and you let people know what you're doing, that's a big help. I don't know if that works for you, but I find over 2 years of doing that, I've noticed that my presence has increased a lot. Like I have billboards in town, and my picture's pretty much all over the place. And they sort of call me, I say to everyone as a joke, I want to be the Mary Hart of Wasaga Beach for entertainment. Well, I'm working my goal because now more and more where I'm going, I'm starting to do master ceremonies, a lot of appearance on TVs and interviews and stuff like that. And it's working. It takes a while, but it's starting to work a little.
I would love that. But, no one wants to help me, and my family says, this is your thing, and basically, when I look at it, I see myself running, falling and running, and either one or two things will happen. You gotta break your legs, and that's it. You're not gonna go anywhere, or you gotta hit the ground running, and you gotta take off.
Yeah, but keep doing what you're doing. Keep networking. Stage 32 will be a big help, to be honest with you, because you're connecting with a lot of people, and through that, you can recruit even more people to interview, and it's, you never know who you're going to meet that's really going to help you along, and you take it from there. Do you know what I mean? And like if you have a short film, I would encourage you to submit it to our film festival. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that, and you work it around that way, and it's just like one more presence. And I don't know, you just got to keep going. You got to keep doing. I know sometimes I get discouraged too. It's just like, You know what I mean? And then other time it just comes together and it just flows. And it's so nice when it does, because I find personally it's such a satisfaction. I mean, you're the only one. You create your own show. Like, you put this together, just like my beach corner. I created the name. I created the whole presence, the whole aura, the posters and everything that I've done and worked on. It was all through my creation, and it's really nice when you see it come alive. The same thing with the film festival when I produced it, and it was all on papers, and then I gave it to, the stage manager and the other people working there, and then when I saw it unfold, it was such a personal satisfaction. Like they say, money can't buy that. And it's true. You just look at this and go, oh my gosh, there's my idea. It's coming right there. So, you got to keep going, Keith. Just don't listen to anybody. Stick with positive people and really connect with the Stage 32, because it's really like-minded people. It's not like Facebook and Twitter. You're really with industry people right there, and you never know who you're going to meet and who you're going to connect. You know what I mean?
I'll give you a perfect example. When I first, well, just say she's a bitch. I won't give out her name because I don't need this turn it X-rated. But basically, my brother went on a airplane. Two stories, if you don't mind. For the first time, he went to the city. He would talk to a professional doctor and scientist. And they said, have you ever heard of something called Keith Andrew? He's doing it's blog talk radio or blog or thing about disabilities. And he said, yes. Oh, well, I think he's doing terrific, but what I'm doing now, videotaping from the screen. Why is he doing that? He has a great message and everything's doing great. But yeah, I kind of figured, because, first off, this came from a professional scientist and doctor. So until they said it, my family said, oh, I guess he's finally doing something right if a professional scientist and doctor are talking. However, on that same day, I said, okay, there's got to be some asshole who's got to ruin that. And I was right, because my brother was going to California, and he does the marketing. I don't know how this even came up. Whether they met by chance, or they just had a conversation on the airplane. But she's a comedian. And I only talked to her once. That's when I was doing my demo years. And it's about like a year and a half ago, going to be 2. Basically, get over it, whatever. But she said, I got this strange email from a guy saying he has this learning disability, and my brother said, oh, by any chance was his name Keith Andrew? Oh my God, you know who he is? Oh my God, yes, exactly, that's who he is. And it's like, do you know him? No, I heard of him. Yeah, he wanted me on his talk show, and yeah, I don't remember what exactly. She's a bitch. And basically, she asked me something. She didn't like how I answered it. But basically, LinkedIn has this thing where you can add contacts to your phone. And it doesn't give you their personal information, like phone numbers and addresses. Their emails act like, and you can make phone calls over Wi-Fi. So sometimes their emails will act like a phone number.
Okay.
And I guess she didn't like that, or she didn't know that the phone can do that. So when she asked me how I got her number, I said, I don't have your number. Your email, it's acting like a number. And it's free, I can show you afterwards how I'm talking about, just step by step. Basically, you give the person your email, and your phone either accepts it or it doesn't. When it accepts it, you get like a little phone thing, and you can call over Wi-Fi. It's free, and you don't get charged for it. However, you don't get the person's number unless they call you back, and then you get the number. But she said to me, how did I get her phone number? I said, I don't have your phone number. Give you a perfect example. Ask me what your number is. What's the first 4 digits of your number? Because I can make it up, and I wouldn't be talking to you like this. If I had your number, I would be professional. I would be upfront with you. I would introduce myself. If you had a problem with it, I would apologize. That would have been it. Oh no, I don't believe you. You're a liar. How does someone like you have my number? I don't have your number. Your email acts like a phone number. You're a liar. You're a liar. And it's kind of like, I can't deal with someone like this.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. You get all kinds of people sometimes that you have to do. So now tell me, what's your background now that you're doing these, online blogs and interview? What background do you come from?
Well, my dad's a school teacher, and let's see, my mom's a stay-home mom.
Okay.
My brother travels. My sister is a writer.
Oh, nice.
And basically, I used to work in retail over at Woodbury Commons, and I worked at a certain store. I mentioned it in the past, but I think I should keep my mouth shut or I get sued. But I worked at the store. They hired me knowing that I had a learning disability.
Okay.
Basically, there's a bunch of made-up stories. I only got written up one time, but I deserve to be written up. The other 2 times are all bullshit. And, if it's up to you, you want to hear the story or not, but... But they didn't like the fact that their company hired me saying, oh, we hired someone with a learning disability. Okay, that looks good. And then the person who I worked with, the company, they didn't like the fact they oversaw what they're doing in an organization. Basically, in an organization that works with people with special needs, making sure the job doesn't screw them over or take advantage of them. And they didn't like that, so they hired this Muslim girl. They said, well, she threatened to sue. And it's like, well, fire Keith. We can't fire him. He's going to sue for discrimination. Well, then I'm going to sue for discrimination. Look, we're going to make you a manager. That wasn't good enough for her. So they basically did this whole cat and mouse thing where we're going to befriend Keith and we're going to see where it goes. Every day, use you for example. Oh, Keith, we're friends. You can talk to me anytime. We can hang out, yada, yada, yada. You would go in the back. Oh, Keith is stalking me. Keith is doing this. He's doing that. I would go in the back. I would get yelled at. As soon as I go on Salesforce, I can't snap my fingers. They would be like, oh, we're just fucking with you. We're having fun with you. We know you have a learning disability. We're just taking advantage of you. Don't take it so personally. So this went on about 6 months, and it's bad enough growing up. I had social anxiety and panic attacks, but this incident really brought it out to a point where it took me a whole year to recover. I couldn't do anything without vomiting and have a panic attack. The good news, I joke around, the good news was I got paid for my time, but bad news is it really affected me mentally and physically. And, I went to West Point. People who know what West Point is, it's a military base in a military town in New York. They were offering people who had disabilities the chance to become custodians for a 6-week course. And this was 2009. And I took it. I didn't want to work in retail. So I'm now certified to work anywhere in New York State as a custodian. And I was thinking, well, that's fine, but they're government jobs, and you have to know people. And so that didn't work out. Even though I do have that underneath my belt, so eventually I can use it for experience. I didn't want to work in retail. My brother and my sister were doing their own things, being a poem writer and traveling and being a marketing agent. And I was like, why can I do that? It's so the longest time I was using my learning disability as a crutch. Can't do this, can't do that. And one day I was like, screw it. I'm going to show people that even with a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And I, still went into retail, and I didn't do anything since 2010 for the next 3 years. Don't ask me why. I should have been doing this a long time ago. That was my stupidity. And 2013, I did the demo years. And then I thought I was doing something right, but no one was taking me seriously because it was just audio. Thanks to you, we're up to 100, and I think I said 94, right? I don't remember.
Somewhere around there, yeah. Well, it's just a number.
And yeah, I appreciate it. And I was just saying I should have been doing this at the time, and what was I doing? My head was up my ass. And I don't know, I just really hope it takes off, but it's just, I guess things happen for a reason. I hate the fact that I got physically sick in retail, and I really messed things up. And in the same way, maybe it was kind of motivation to use that to motivate myself to reach over obstacles and controversy. But, I don't mean to bitch to you. I apologize.
No. I mean, it's always interesting to know, backgrounds and stuff like that, where it's coming from. Like I said, mine is radio and television. I work with this most of my life. I love doing this type of industry, hence my reason to be involved with the film festival and doing the radio show. I love doing the radio show. Between the radio show and producing the film festival, those are my two biggest passions. I also do voiceover as well, too, for the new Classical 102.9 FM, which was launched last August. So I do arts and events reports as well as vignettes. Vignettes are little stories. They're just 1 minute, but you have to read in a certain time, and it has to have an intonation, and it has to be interesting. So that's exciting to do too, and that I got because of my radio show. So you see what I mean? So I'm saying, if you continue doing what you're doing, it just opens up other doors. So you just have to keep at it, keep connecting with the people, get your message out there, tell them what you want to do, and you take it from there.
That's true. Now, wrapping up, do you have anything you want to say to your fans and listeners? Do you have any funny stories you like to share?
Oh my gosh, funny stories. I don't have one. Like, if you would have told me before, I probably would have thought about it. I can't think of one, but I mean, the only thing that was really funny is just when I went for the film festival, I had to open the show with the chair, and I was so nervous backstage with my mic. I kept losing my two little lines that I had to say. I had to say a few lines, but I kept losing it to the one point I thought I was going to faint. I mean, it's not funny, but funny when the curtains open. What happened, we also had a screen. So the curtains were opening, we're walking, and the screen went up, but the screen came back down. So here I am behind with my dress, and here with the chair, we got the mics, and as we're coming forward, the screen is like right in front of us, and we have to take a step back, so they have to move it back. I mean, it was just little, it may not be funny to some of the audience out there, but I mean, it is what it is. But whoever could listen to my show, Beach Corner, on beachboosterradio.com, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 and 7 p.m. would be most appreciated. And we'd love to hear your comments. So thank you very much, Keith.